welcome to another episode of Brimo's Old Farts and Friends. Yeah, I'm super stoked. This episode was really awesome because I got to visit Muttville Senior Rescue in San Francisco, California. And I had a really awesome time with Patty, one of the board members that was very generous and allowed us to tour the facility while she gave us some insights about the history of Muttville and how it all got started. So I hope you guys really enjoy this episode. I enjoyed shooting it. Enjoy.
This is an SPCA building. We're on Rescue Row. When we moved in 5.5 years ago, ACC, the Animal Care and Control City Shelters down the street, SPCA has been here for 150 years. Is that not amazing?
Wow.
And there was a rescue upstairs, but they moved to a new space. So we moved in, and we decided that we should try to rename the street honorarily Rescue Row, because you can rescue anything on the street. So anyway, this building was used for all kinds of things, but we made this our community room. So in this room right now, PayPal corporate team is here. We have corporate groups come in throughout the week because they have volunteer things as a group.
Yeah, they did that at Best Friends too.
Yeah, and it's great because we put them to work, and then they walk dogs and wash the dogs and whatnot. So Todd, who you just met, is our development guy, and he's going to host them, I guess. So we have meetings in here. We do something called Cuddle Club. Part of our Seniors for Seniors program, Senior Dogs for Senior Citizens. They do 2 or 3 times a month. Able-bodied seniors from senior centers come in, and we call it Cuddle Club. And then the volunteers who volunteer with the senior group bring down the dogs, and everybody cuddles. It's really cute. It's good for everybody's soul.
That's great.
Then we have a nice storage area. Most of this stuff is donated. We're getting to be pretty well known in the Bay Area, and oftentimes when people's dogs die, they just drop their stuff off if they're not going to be using it. So we recycle it after we wash the beds. Those go to senior citizens. See, these are for senior adopters only.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And part of our program, which we're not the only one. There's lots of these around the country. But when seniors adopt, there's my old thing from my first dog. We give them anything they need to help ensure that it's a success.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So that they need ramps, steps, stroller, whatever it is, dog beds, harnesses, clothes.
That's amazing.
And so this is our storage area. Everything used to be in Sherry's garage. Sherry is the founder.
Yes.
And so it's amazing that we have this space.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Going on 5 years now. Here, I'll show you the bowels of the building. Hi, everybody. So we share this with the SPCA. And we do a lot of laundry. So when volunteers come, laundry is part of the deal.
Yes.
Because we clean up with towels instead of paper towels.
Yes.
And this is our van that we won from Toyota's 100 Cars for Good campaign a couple years back.
That's amazing.
That was a really cool promotion. So we won. 100 nonprofits won the car of their choice. We were one of them. And back here is Vet SOS. That's a program that they help the dogs of the homeless folks in San Francisco. So a lot of our donated drugs go to them. And they have that caged area back here. So,
You're good.
Yes. Sometimes we take these to corporate groups. Like we created this because a volunteer worked at YouTube, and she said we could put a donation bin in the YouTube. I'm like, yes, in the lobby, that'd be great. Even if we just get like towels, just to have the eyeballs of folks like that was great. And then she went to Facebook, so I took these down to Facebook, and now pretty much. See, people just drop stuff off. Pooch pants.
Hello. Hey, hi, who are you? I'm Coco.
Hi, Coco. Coco Shimmy Bob. So come on, you guys, let's go upstairs. You do? So get out.
All of us?
We're going to go in the office so I can put my purse away. When we get in there, little gated areas. This is the office. Okay. Greetings, one and all.
Thank you.
Greetings. These are our new friends from LA.
Hi, pretty baby. Oh, hello. You're adorable. Hi. Beautiful. Yeah. You hear her? Little pretty thing. Hello, sweet baby girl.
Gotcha. Good advice.
Aww,
She's adorable.
Tell me about your podcast.
So I told you a little bit. I'm trying to start my own senior rescue. On this
so
summer.
needed.
Yes.
Good.
And rescue senior dogs as well. So we have 6 altogether, my wife and I.
Good.
We have
Awesome.
6 senior dogs that we absolutely love.
Good.
And so it's mostly just me hanging out with them and bringing awareness to why senior dogs are awesome. And so last week I actually interviewed a very small rescue in the LA area between, St. friends of Milo. Milo here? No, Milo.
There's a Milo Foundation here.
Those people on your calendar, they only come in to yeah, probably makes sense.
Columbo.
So, hi, there's lots of new ones here. I haven't been here in a week, and every time I come, of course, Sherry was the founder, and we were out of her house for the first 6 years. And volunteers were coming in all day while she was doing hair. She's doing hair today. She's a hairdresser. And today she's just 1 day a week now, but she's the executive director of this. And as we got to grow a little bit, we finally had our first employee, maybe in 2009 or 10, and that was an office assistant, because it's a lot. You know what it's like when you're rescuing dogs. There's paperwork and software and stuff. You got to keep things organized. So Annie was our first assistant, and then the SPCA really liked the work that Sherry was doing, and she's been known on the street for a long time. And they said that they were going to have some space here at the SPCA. They were center block. And would we like to have a headquarters? Well, heck yeah. So we moved in here 5.5 years ago, and so we had to hire someone to really manage the mutts. So we had our first mutt manager, who sits over there, who's not here today. It's her day off. So we have a manager of the mutts. She picks the mutts when the mutts come in. She gathers the material. She happens to be a good photographer, so that helps. And then we have an office manager. Kristen is a former volunteer who's now the adoptions manager. Erin is a former volunteer who's now mutt assistant. We have mutt assistants on duty as long as we're open, with volunteers. Oh, there you go. Good nose.
Thank you, buddy.
So Lori's our COO, and she kind of runs the joint.
Sorry.
Eric is a former volunteer who now works in development. So we have about, I think, 13 paid employees, half part-time, but this is what it takes to be a success. We learned by going to the Best Friends conference. Do you ever go to that?
Yeah.
Have you?
Well, I haven't been to the conference. I actually just came back from the sanctuary not too long ago.
Okay, but you have to go to the conference, either HSUS or Best Friends, because they're both amazingly awesome. You'll be with 3,000 people like us. You have to go with friends, and you have to go to different classes, and then you'll be so jazzed. Because you'll be like, we gotta do that, we gotta do that. So, we learned from those conferences that you have to run a rescue like a business.
Yes.
You really do. And, that really kind of changed our attitude. So, this is the structure of the office. Come on this way. What's happening here? Watch out, baby.
Dad, he's just going nuts for our new,
Here's a little one that's going to need some work.
the one where.
Here we go. Come on out. Thank you. Stay dotty. Stay dotty. This one's new to the club?
Yeah.
Oh, we just saw her being walked
And
in.
she's crazy about him. So that's
And
why
you
she's sleeping.
are a mess.
Yes, they're
So,
brand new. They
brand
just
new.
got here, so they're gonna
Was
get a
it you
makeover.
that I met a year ago?
I don't
January?
know.
I think.
So as you see, we have lots of gated rooms. And, if we get any troublemakers, we try not to get troublemakers.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry, you guys.
You're good. We have to separate them. But for the most part, our rule of thumb is dog-friendly dogs and people-friendly dogs. Because there's so many volunteers, coming in and out. There's constant motion. Hi, babies.
I was gonna say, how do you introduce dogs to the group and bring on new ones and all that? How's that process work?
Well, Jen, who just walked through here as the mutt manager, she pretty much does that. By the time I come in here, and if they're in here, it's all good. But if we do discover that we have someone that, maybe a large dog that has a prey drive, we have to move them into a different room. So, we watch them, test them, see how it goes. And then they don't stay here for long because they go to foster quickly. And I'll show you the board. It's pretty amazing. Hi, Precious. Looks like you just got a buzz cut. You guys stay. All right, use your legs, guys. You ready? Here we go. In you go. In you go.
Thank you.
All right, stay, everybody.
Hello.
Is it okay if I'm moving the camera around? Yeah. Look at them? Okay.
Okay, this is a lot of dogs for this place right now.
Oh.
Hello, Precious.
Hi.
I know, I love it.
Hi, Amos.
So we'd love to see if you can make it really the
60, 70, 80 at a time. Yeah, at about 50 to 60 are foster homes. So here, if you want, I can
Hi.
Yeah, Annette, come here for a second.
Sure.
good haircut. You look good.
She's gonna describe the board.
I'll describe the board. Oh, perfect, thank you. Okay, so this is the doggy loft, the main doggy loft. And as you see, we've made it really bright. We have fewer seams in these newer floors. There's great light flooding in from 16th Street. So it really helps for video and photography. And this is our senior dog residence. So everybody has a name, a letter, and then a short summary so that we can quickly see what's going on. Is this, how are you, darling? Cameron. So Cameron's been with us a while. Are you visiting or are you here? This is L right there. L. All right, Black Poodle, we think he's 12 and there's not a whole lot of information about him. I think he might be sight impaired. And you're new, Noir. Let's see about you. So Noir is a Schnauzer mix from Solano County and his medical results are pending. So you'll see that a lot of them are new and they haven't seen the doctor yet. I guess where the doctor is, upstairs. We have a vet on staff and someone who runs the clinic, and there are lots of volunteers that are helping them. Vet techs that they know through their past and just people who want to learn about medicine. So each and every one gets seen by the doctor. They get a wellness exam, we have an ultrasound, we do a blood test, and we try to figure out what's going on. Our main expense, as you can imagine, would be what? Medical. What part of the body?
The back?
Teeth.
Bingo.
Oh, nice.
We pay for a lot of dentals.
Wow.
So, sometimes we have to pull out a lot of teeth. And, yep. Some of them come with perfect teeth. My dog came with perfect teeth. I kept them good by brushing them for 5 years. And, hi baby, you're so cute. So, and then some have no teeth. And so, a lot of the tongues are hanging out. Yeah. Call that the Muttville.
Yep.
So, let's see, who else are we interested in? Let's see. There's a cute Oh, that's Miss Potato. She's back.
Potato.
Miss Potato.
How fitting. Hi,
It's a black
Potato.
Chihuahua 9. Cutest wiggle. She wasn't surrendered. I don't know why, and she's pending medical. Now she got adopted and came back, and I'm not sure why. But we can look her up because we have an app called the Muttville Bible. We used to have a folder out here so that we could look, but it was hard to update it. So now everything's on an app. So all of us that are behind the scenes can just go right to the dog, look up their medical, see what foster home they're in, if there's anyone, what's going on, if they have kennel cough, if they're in the back, and it's really helped us a lot.
App?
Someone made it. We call it the Muttville Bible.
Oh, nice. Someone made it specifically for you guys. That's awesome.
Yeah, one of our techie guys. Yeah.
The struggle is real. I'm recording, but I want to pet them at the same time.
Yeah, okay. We'll have plenty of time.
I'll
So
figure that
right
out.
now there's some visiting foster dogs, and they're probably here because people are either on vacation or they need to see the vet. So I see Glitter is here for a vet appointment. Amos, he's one of the favorites around here. Where's the little dogs? Oh, he's over there. So he's here for a vet appointment. Nicolo, why are you here? Adoption. He's going to get adopted. Awesome.
All right.
And then others were here from the Wednesday. Wednesday. I don't know why it says event, but I don't know why they're here. Then we have a development office. This is Colby back there on the desk. See the palm?
Oh, yeah.
Colby was one of a group of dogs that came from a hoarding situation in Tahoe last year. It was 18 dogs. I think it was like 11 Poms and 8 Chihuahuas. And the story was there was a fire in a house, and the firefighters went there and saw that there were 40 animals in the house. And Bunny was, we all love Poms at Muttville, because they just fly out of here. So all the dogs came, and all the Poms came at once, and then all the Chihuahuas came at once. So we had an event on a Friday. Normally we're just open on the weekends to the public, but we called it the Chi-Pomathon, Chihuahua Pomathon. And golly, we called the news and we're like, oh, there's been this big hoarding situation and all these Chihuahuas and Poms are coming in from Lake Tahoe. And is there any way you could cover it? And she's like, well, I'll ask. One of the reporters is a friend of ours. And so by golly, they let her do live shots every half hour in the morning news. I'm here at the Chi-Pomathon at Muttville, and she interviewed people, and it was really great. So they all got adopted. This one, Eric fell in love with this one, and so now Colby is a desk dog in the development office and gets to come to work every day.
Of course she does.
Yeah, so they're Pom people, he and his wife. And then the Schnauzer in here, hi baby,
Yeah.
is separated for some reason. I can't remember why, but he gets to be in the office with them. So, this is our grass, and then as you see, we have some pee-pee. So we do a lot of mopping, and that's okay. It's very zen.
Yeah.
Change the water a lot.
Oh yeah. I can remember.
And as volunteers come, they all get walks. And lots of times the fosters fail. I was a foster fail with my last dog, my 2 last dogs. And it's okay. Hi, you're all new to me. Put you in the little human test. Kathy, who are you in love with?
Well, you know what? It just breaks my heart to go home. I wish.
Hi, babies. Hi. Okay. Hi. Hi.
It's really no, it's not a million people watching. It's half a million. Come on over and take Kathy, will you? Let's go get out of the. Let's go in front of the logo.
Some good lighting, Amy.
Good light.
Stay over here.
Make some room. And Kathy, come on over. Stand here, will you? So,
What does a typical day of volunteering look like for you?
Well, you come in and you sign in, and then you look on the chart of the dogs, ones that have been walked and ones that haven't been. So we try to get them out as much as we can. Go for about maybe a 40-minute walk, and we pick them up, you know, and they're just so special. Every time you walk in, they come right up to you, and they're just so loving. I mean, their eyes, they just look up at you, and it's just precious. And then we go in the kitchen and we cut up chicken for them and their food, and we do dishes, and we also do laundry. They got some beautiful comforters here I could take home myself.
Yeah, they do.
But they're warm, they're content, and I like it because it's an open area.
yes.
They're not just in one little square, so they could roam around. And we keep them in different areas depending on their size. So, but anyway, and you know, they come in pretty ragged looking. So by the time they check their teeth, their ears, and their blood, and then we, you know, we give them a bath, and we shave. Some of them come in matted hair, but it's a miracle before and after shots of these. And they, I have a dog like this at home. It's Zippy Sean. Yeah. Cute. They're so precious. You know, and they get older like we do.
Yeah.
And we need medications just like they do. So anyway, I just wish I could take them all home.
Oh, I'm sure.
But they're doing a good job here, all the volunteers and the workers. And we have open house here. It's just a nice environment for these animals.
Absolutely.
They're so sweet.
Well, they're definitely and well loved.
Yeah.
So that is wonderful to see.
Yeah.
Stella here just looks so happy in your arms right now.
Yeah.
I'll step in and say a few things.
Sure.
All right, thanks. Yeah,
All
Lola
right,
likes to be
bye.
held. That's why.
Thank you.
So the thing is that they're never bored here, right?
Absolutely,
There's
yeah.
always something going on from like 7 in the morning till about 9 at night. And then, you know, they all go into their little senior dog beds at night. We leave the night light on and they sleep. Sometimes there's some pee and poo on the floor in the morning and we just start all over again. But they're not in this headquarters for long because they do go to foster pretty quickly. And there are multiple foster applicants every day,
Wow.
which is amazing. And I'd say, because I get to see the back end, probably 10 to 15 dog adoption applicants daily. And they're not always going to be a match. And some of them are from out of state, which isn't going to work, but it's really nice to see how many people are interested. And, you know, it's really, we have a hard time leaving here, don't we? Because it's so much fun.
Yeah. I know.
You just fall in love, and it's like there's nice people. And what's funny is there's been lots of friendships made. Made some friends.
Yes, absolutely.
There's a marriage about to happen. And I know some couples who are shacked up. Met here, they fell in love, they live together.
Yeah.
There'll be more marriages in the future. Isn't that nice?
That's wonderful. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
common interest.
Everybody's coming together to save the dog.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go pick a dog up and take him for a walk.
Oh, good.
right.
Who are you in love with right now? Got a favorite?
You know what? They're all my favorites.
Oh, good answer.
Yeah. They're just all precious.
All right, thanks, Kathy.
All right.
See you around town, honey.
So do you guys have like a morning, like when I worked for Best Friends, we had like a deep clean morning protocol, so we had to get there 7 in the morning, deep clean the kennels, things like that. Do you have something along those lines every morning?
Yeah, well, I mean, basically we clean up whatever's on the floor here, and we have, mops, and we just clean it up every morning. But it's not like the kennels are dirty, because there really aren't kennels. So if there's pee on, we do a lot of laundry.
Yes.
So if some of the males pee on the beds, we just clean it up and start all over again. So yeah, every morning. The shelter supervisor opens up, so she's got her team of volunteers that come in early. And we ask that volunteers come for at least a 3-hour shift each week. And most of them do, and people come and go, but there's new volunteer apps every day too.
Absolutely, yeah. That's great that you have so much help of people just wanting to volunteer or wanting
lots.
to.
But then again, the city, a lot of people, it seems like there's a lot of young women who had a dog and it's still at their parents' house in whatever state they come from, and they miss having a dog, and they work all day and their landlord won't let them have a dog, so they come here. It seems like there's a lot of that. Then there's a lot of retired people, like Kathy, it's something fun to do. For me, I found Muttville in 2008, in year 1. When we were going to adopt a dog, I was going to take a break from work, and we went to the SPCA, and we put a deposit down on this dog that had Giardia, so he wasn't free to go yet. And we knew someone that was a visiting exchange student from Japan, who at the time was living at the founder's house in her spare room. She always had someone in her spare room to help take care of the animals while she was doing hair. And we said, let's go see this place called Muttville, where Yukiko was living. Let's just go see what this is. And we walked into Sherry's house, and it was like this. There were dogs on all the beds, and it was warm and inviting, and we're like, wow, this is awesome. So I found the perfect dog, my first Muttville dog, Frankie. Cute little Lhasa, Shih Tzu mix, found as a stray in Merced. And we took him home, and it was like perfection. So in love with him. He lasted 5.5 years. And I thought this was such a good idea. I'm like, how can I help? So I had a media background. I'd been a radio producer, and I'm easy to ask for things. So I just started trying to get attention for this. And that's kind of how I help. I mean, I take pictures and videos, but it really warms my heart to see that if we can get some magazine articles or some attention on television or whatever, and then adoption applicants come, and dogs find homes for those efforts, that makes me very good. So, come on, we'll continue the tour.
It's hard to come up with new ones.
Meet your new best friend. Come here, everybody!
Let me get out your cute shot.
We have a volunteer groomer who comes each week. We used to have to send him out and pay for it, but Cindy comes on Sundays and she just does them all, which is amazing. I mean, unless there's a really, really bad case that needs to be done immediately. Yeah. Hey, I'm looking for my. Oh hi! What's going on with you, Gumby? Other dogs are picking on him and he likes it here. Oh, hi Gumby. Hi Gumby. Who's your good little dog?
I know, I was just gonna say,
You don't need to be picked
he looks
on.
like my Sunny. Hi, Papa.
Hi, baby.
You are so cute.
My glasses aren't in here. Shoot.
Oh.
I always leave something behind. Just drag. But now it's not. Wait till you see the difference. Oh. Someone created this for us. We give dogs the kennel call.
Used to be the ISO room.
And so we had this area. They all, people had to suit up, boot up, take them out, and follow the protocol. Wait till you see where they are now. It's awesome. Right. It's a much better situation. They're not as lonely. And they're behind a close door. Donations. Look at this. Here's our collars. Yeah, harnesses and whatnot. And oftentimes we have a pretty large Facebook following, which is really nice. It's over 500,000. A lot of them aren't even in the US, but a lot of them. And sometimes when we run out of stuff like pill pockets, we'll do a post and say, well, if the dogs need pill pockets, is there any way you could send them from this Amazon link? And then pill pockets come for 6 months. Which is awesome. So sometimes when we're low on harnesses, we do a post.
Hello.
Meet our friends from LA, Lori and Aaron. Tell her a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Brimo, and I actually want to start my own senior dog rescue eventually. So I'm talking to other rescues, getting research and stuff done, and just seeing how things are run here.
Excellent. Well, you are in some good hands here.
Hey, snap, snap. So this used to be the spay neuter clinic for the SPCA. And the SPCA is behind that door. And now it's our kitchen. As you see, we cook chicken and rice for the dogs, unless they are on a special diet. Like up here, I see, what's RCHP? Kidney?
No, that is hydrolyzed protein.
Okay.
It's basically a very easily digestible food. All the proteins have been mashed down into their very basic components, and so dogs who have some digestive issues can eat it, and it just gets processed really easily.
Okay, and Tessie's on a diet, is that right?
Yes, Tessie is a little overweight,
Okay.
and so we're only feeding her 230 calories a day. So split between 2 meals.
Yeah.
And then here are the dogs that are currently here, and these are their meds, and I see a lot of, let's see, anxiety, arthritis, let's see, pain, stuff like that. Eye drops, ear drops, and a lot of arthritis stuff.
Yeah, it makes sense. Older dogs, but
Trazodone for some anxiety. Yeah.
well, it's good that not a lot of them seem to be on a special diet right now, at least.
Yeah, well, the ones that are here anyway.
Yeah.
They might be a foster. And then these are the bags that are ready to go. So should Sparkle get adopted, here's all the information on the meds. All the meds are in here, and these are the foster dog meds. These dogs. Why is Hef back there all alone? Hef, the little chihuahua in the hallway.
I think he didn't like somebody.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Nicely
Oh,
put.
he's got a big personality.
Nicely put. Yes.
Here's our chicken. Good Costco with the chicken. Dogs don't drink the coffee.
Okay.
So
How do you guys feed them all? Do they fight over food?
they have 2 feedings a day. No, they gate them, and the volunteers help whatever mud assistant is on duty. It's really quite organized, and believe it or not, there's really not a lot of fights about it.
Wow.
But they know kind of the dog's personality, so they gate them in certain areas, and they kind of watch over them while they eat, and then that's that.
That's
So
amazing.
it pretty much works. Now this used to be the vet clinic. We had a lot of people in this room. And it was, the veterinarian, the vet suite manager, whatever volunteers. Well, since a rescue moved out upstairs, we moved everything upstairs. There's a whole floor. It's amazing. Yeah. So now we made this our ISO area. So these dogs, I only see one. Juniper.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh, is that the only one?
It's the other one on the board right there.
Oh yeah, Juniper. Wow, that's amazing. This is really good. And of course, if dogs come in with kennel cough, we try to get these dogs out of here quickly. So if a foster home doesn't have another dog in it, we're like, we'd love it if you take one of these kennel cough dogs and let them heal in your house.
Yeah.
And be careful when you're walking them. Give them all the information that they need. So come back with me this way.
Okay, cool.
This is also another ISO area. Chicken Soup for the Soul. This was so cool. They have a TV show, part of the Saturday morning lineup on 6 to 9, where they have to have like a certain amount of educational program. So Chicken Soup for the Soul sponsors a show. I can't remember the name now. But they contacted us and said, we want to come to Muttville and we want to do a segment on you. Complete unbelievable. I mean, it was like this kind of floor, and it was just dank and really awful looking. So they came one day with somebody. This is the only part that's left. They kind of had some holes in the wall, and the SPCA is behind here, but we just used this for ISO. And now we've made it a meet and greet room, and they got this furniture, they blew up a whole bunch of pictures. I mean, it could look a little neater right now, but this is like 100% improved.
Yeah, it looks
That's the only remaining part of the original room. Put in new flooring, and obviously someone was eating in here. So we're happy to have this. So lots of nooks and crannies here, right?
Yeah.
And then what's happening behind here? Oh, you can't see. I think just a hallway with workers' dogs over there. So back here, Pet Food Express has come to LA. Are you familiar with them?
Yes, I have.
Awesome group. They are so all about rescue, and they love to help. So they have helped us with, and most of it's gone now, Natural Balance. They donate each month, and that food goes home to foster families.
That's great.
Isn't that great? I know. So I always take a video of whatever the guy's picking it up and bringing it here. And then we have all kinds of special food, urinary,
Yes.
and kidney and whatever.
Yeah.
And right now, this is the old SPCA, and I'm delighted to see that I saw a sign on the other door that Prevent Cruelty California. Do you know the initiative that's going on right now. Hopefully it'll be a prop. I hope gather some signatures too. This is Prevent Cruelty California. We passed Prop 2 in California, I don't know, maybe 12 years ago, so that animals in farms had room to move, the pigs could move.
Yeah.
And so now they're trying to really get tough and say, look, we're a huge economy, and Kansas, if you don't let your pigs move around and treat your farm animals with care, we're not going to be buying your meat.
Nice.
Basically. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm a vegetarian, so
Yeah.
whatever, but still, it's a step, right?
Absolutely.
So I don't know. Hopefully they're going to get enough signatures. It'll get on the ballot, and we'll all vote on it. But anyway, they're here, and it's called Prevent Cruelty California. They're using this room. So this area, this is like an old building. There was a dog and cat hospital back there behind that wall at one point where we were initially going to move, but then they said, we have this building. You might like this one better. So this has really upped our game, being here for these 6 years almost.
That's wonderful.
Just being on Rescue Row and being near BART subway and being on the bus line. Just it's easy for people to get here. And it's always a work in progress, but now dentals, tumor removals, just took an eyeball out of somebody. But we are now, I understand we did our first dental upstairs, which is really exciting, because if we are able to do dentals with a dentist, we're going to save so much, right? Because vet bills, it's amazing how much it costs. Hi, here's Alyssa. Somebody's a foster fail, hospice. Justin is a mud assistant. He has to bring his little girl to work.
This is Alyssa.
Justin's had a few little girls.
Yeah, she just had acupuncture, so I
I
think
know we're at the tip top. Oh, this is an old SPCA knives. This is interesting. This is how it was in the 30s. Isn't it depressing? Yeah. So, this is how it used to be. We had a little indoor outdoor. And we were up here doing a tour the other day. This is all not interesting. This is old stuff. But I thought this was interesting. It was an isolation board, 1935. And then Marguerite paid for it in honor of her mother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Texas has a terrible. Where in Texas would you go?
San Antonio.
Oh, good. Well, San Antonio Pet's alive.
Yes.
You have to see them.
Yes.
And Austin Pet's alive.
Austin Pet's
They
alive,
got it
yes.
going on. Oh man. I have a lamp that's been sitting there for a month. Who's this?
This is one of the volunteer dogs, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
He's very sweet.
Oh,
He's
you are sweet.
the calmest man in the building right now.
Oh, really? Oh. And then Melania, she looks like she had a procedure. What's
She
going
had
on
a
with her?
procedure. Do you know
Not Melania.
the Tita?
Yeah. She had one eye removed, and then she had a bunch of mammary tumors.
She's been trying to get off the island, and she runs around and she's fearless a little bit. But she's relying on her senses, I think, her smell and her
No,
hearing, so
she's pretty fearless.
She's a little...
Transitions fast.
Yeah.
And is that who's in the thunder shirt?
That is Chucky.
That's Chucky. Oh,
Yeah.
Chucky. That's my mother's nickname. I've been wanting to meet her. Yeah.
She's the month supervisor.
Okay.
So this is her dog, and he's a Muttville alum, and they named him Willy Wonky because he has some, I don't know what the issue is, but his legs are really, he had very little strength in them. He could barely walk. He could not walk on linoleum whatsoever.
Oh no.
But he went for some water therapy.
Yeah.
It's basically a treadmill and a pool. And now he actually runs up and down here. And, so he comes to work with her every day and hangs out. And as you can see,
So this was the Southern Rescue, and we painted everything and tried to make it better with new flooring. And so Angela, our vet suite manager, has her own office. She has her own Muttville dog. It's come to work.
Aww. I'm attached, I can't move. Too much love. She's the one that greeted us too when we came in. Oh,
Okay, just technical.
look at this little one.
Hi,
Hello.
These guys are adopted.
Oh,
Dogs.
good.
What's your name, baby? There we go. Sasha. Hi, Sasha.
So cute, Sasha.
So, let's see, we have an office. This is kind of funky, 1932. Old building, brick views. And looks like we got some stuff that came in. Chairs. We got some good chairs. Cool. Still need some painting here. Oh, look, that's funny.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just get through there. But that's Natasha and the Dr. Rader are vet. Girl, do you like food? Oh, I get kisses too. Oh my God. You are precious. And there's Nicola. Hi, Nicola. Hi. Hi. Wait, there's something with. We're just doing a little podcast for our LA friends. Vet volunteer. Oh, look who snuck in.
Come on.
Come on, I'll show you something else that's really cool and new for us. Close that behind you.
Can you close it for us, please?
Thank you. Here. Sure. Really quickly, just to see. Oh, beauty is doing acupuncture. So we have an acupuncture room. Some acupuncturists that come and donate their time. Hi, doctor. And that dog is Diggity Dog. And he's got some needles in him right now. So we have a quiet room. Nice carpet. Oh, yeah, okay. See all the needles in his back? Yeah. Nice and blue. Thank you for coming here and offering your services.
Yeah, thank you.
And then we have a physical therapy room. Looks like this is a work in progress too.
Do you guys have hydrotherapy here too?
No.
Oh,
we
okay.
don't. But there's a place in Pacifica and a place in Mill Valley. I don't know of any in the city.
Oh, okay. Just curious.
What's going on in here? And SPCA's been here since the gold rush. They're celebrating 150 years. They own the whole city block. And I think it's interesting that they came after the gold rush because horses died, right? Someone had to pick them up. The SPCA got started.
Oh, okay.
And they've been super kind to us and the other rescue that was here. So having this headquarters just so upped our game and gave us great exposure. On Saturdays and Sundays when people are coming to the SPCA or Animal Care Control and they walk by and they see we have tents outside and balloons and there's a happening thing, a lot of people end up just coming here and taking a look at it. Years they come and go.
Absolutely.
And when we pay people, they come. So I think we raised about $3 million last year, which is wow. Even I was like, wow, really, $3 million? A lot of that is from our annual gala. We have one big thing. It's called Senior Prom. Is that not adorable?
I love it.
And it has a sub-theme. Do we have any information out about that yet? Not yet. It's going to happen in August. We used to have our first fundraiser was called Moolah for Mutts, and each year had a sub-theme. I think we're coming up to year 9 or 10. So, for example, when we adopted out 1,000 dogs, we did Night of 1,000 Mutts. So we had like this Arabian theme at the Swedish American Hall. It was an awesome party. Then we had it at a French art gallery, so we did the Joie du Mutt, the Joy of Mutt. Maria, our marketing person, went to Cuba, and she came back, oh, Viva Los Mutts, so that was our next one. And then someone said, why didn't you have a senior prom? And we're like, duh, senior prom. So everybody got a prom dress and outfit. We had our first senior prom. Then the next year we did senior prom with a sub-theme, Pooches of the Caribbean, which is very cute. And then this year it's kind of, I think, an 80s theme. And so we have it at a place, it's about 450 people, we sell tables, and we make about $600,000, which is pretty good. I know. Good. We have to pay now too. We have to pay more for an event planner. Yes. We have to pay for the place, but you know, it sells out. Last year it sold out for the first time a month ahead of time, which was great. I live in a different county, and I went to an estate sale one day, and I met the estate sales lady. I'm like, what do you do with your leftover towels? She said, do you want them? So she texts me every 2 weeks, I pick up towels. We put up the towels now. Sometimes she has a team gathering today, and I see that there's a dog in someone's arms. What are you guys signing? Cards? Thank you letters to donors, right? Awesome, thank you. And so we organize them and sign the letters for us, and then they get to walk. It's wonderful. I was so glad to see Cardigan get adopted. This dog went to a volunteer's mother who had another dog, and Cardigan really wasn't getting along with the dog. So he got nippy, and then he came back here, and one of our mud assistants, who's not here today, fostered him. She lives with her sister, and I think their parents' house, and she's like, we can't let him go. So Cardigan is now with a Muttville person. Yeah, so it's a good outcome.
Am I being interviewed right now?
I
Okay.
was asking you, I don't remember.
I was curious about like volunteering at a shelter. I have a senior dog myself, and I thought the mission was really cool. And then when I came to the volunteer orientation, I had no idea that it was like cage-free. And then I fell in love. I thought it was amazing and had to come back. I couldn't wait to come back for the first time. And then I also thought it was really cool that there were opportunities to volunteer with the vet team. So all of those reasons.
Did you find this on Google? A search? Do you remember? You can
Don't
pick Hef
remember.
up.
Maybe Facebook or Google.
Okay. Is it okay, Hef? Are you pick upable? Is that okay? I think you are.
Yeah.
You want to hold him while you're talking?
Sure.
That'd be cool. You can put him in her arms.
I can grab another one too if you want. Whoever you want.
Sorry. All right. So, you want to ask her questions about what happens in the vet suite as a volunteer?
Yeah, absolutely. So what's the typical day look like for you since you're up there with the vet?
So every time there's new dogs, there are two things we do with them. So we process them, which means we run all their blood work and look at the numbers, check if they have a chip. All the dogs get dewormers and like a flea treatment. And so we call that processing, and then the vet does an intake exam on every dog that comes in. So that's like basically like a full physical to see what shape the dog's in, and then also to approximate the age. And that's usually, she'll look at the records, and we'll make sure they're up to date on vaccines and everything. So that's sort of a typical day. It depends how many dogs have come in. Today, I think we had 4 or 5 intake exams, and then other dogs were being processed. Oh, and they did a surgery as well. So sometimes they have surgeries. This surgery, I think, was to like drain an abscess on the dog's chin and then take dental x-rays.
Wow. And now you guys are starting to incorporate more dental work, I heard?
Yes, so they just got a bunch of machinery for that, and it's finally up and running. So they did their first dental, I think, a couple weeks ago, and today dental x-rays. This dog I don't think needs a dental, but yes, they'll start doing that regularly.
That's
which is great for
amazing.
senior dogs because most of them need some dental work.
Yes. And do you know Hef very well?
I don't know Hef very well, but he's a sweetheart.
He is. He's really cute. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.